We've all been in situations where someone's words cut deep or their actions sting. The natural instinct is to react immediately, to defend ourselves, to prove a point, or to strike back. But here's the truth. Every reaction costs you energy, and most of the time, it gives power to the very person who hurt you. So today, let's talk about why not reacting is one of the strongest moves you can make. In life, you cannot control everything that happens to you. People will disappoint you, words will be said, and situations will rise that you never asked for. That part is out of your hands. What is in your control, however, is how you choose to respond to those moments. And that choice, your reaction, is where your real power lies. Most people think strength comes from striking back, proving a point, or getting the last word. But that's not strength. That's impulse. Reacting is easy because it requires no discipline. It's simply letting your emotions drive the wheel. The problem is when you allow your emotions to control your response, you hand your power over to the very thing or person that triggered you. Imagine this: someone insults you. The moment you snap back, who's in control? Not you. They are. They dictated your behavior, pulled you out of your calm, and got exactly what they wanted: your attention and your energy. Now you're drained, frustrated, maybe even regretting the words you threw back. That's what happens when you live in reaction mode. You lose twice. First, to the insult. Second, to your own response. But when you learn to pause, to hold back, and to respond only from a place of clarity, you shift the entire balance of power. The insult doesn't own you anymore. The situation doesn't define your next move. You do. That's control. Think about it. Every reaction is a transaction. You pay with your peace, your focus, your reputation, and sometimes your relationships. The question is, are they worth that price? Most of the time, the answer is no. By not reacting, you keep your energy where it belongs, with you. This doesn't mean you suppress your emotions or pretend you don't care. It means you rise above the urge to lash out. You give yourself space to think. You protect your calm first, and then, if a response is necessary, you deliver it with intention, not impulse. That's the difference between reaction and response. One is emotional. The other is strategic. And here's the deeper truth: the strongest people you'll ever meet are not the ones who fight every battle. They are the ones who know which battles are worth their energy. They don't waste time proving their value to someone who tried to tear it down. They don't let negativity dictate their behavior. They understand that real control is not about controlling others, it's about mastering yourself. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, remember this: your power isn't in what happens, it's in what you do next. Do you let them take your calm, or do you hold on to it? Do you let them control the narrative, or do you write your own? That's control over reaction. And once you master it, you'll realize that nothing and no one can take your peace without your permission. When someone hurts you, the instinct to react is almost automatic. You want to defend yourself, you want to speak up, you want to make sure they know you're not someone to be walked over. But here's the truth: the loudest voice in the room isn't always the strongest one. Real strength often shows up in silence. Silence isn't weakness. It isn't surrender. It's strategy. When you choose silence, you take away what the other person is looking for: your reaction. Most people who try to hurt you want one of two things: control over your emotions or a confirmation that they've gotten under your skin. The moment you explode, you hand them both. But when you hold your ground in silence, you leave them with nothing to feed on. They're disarmed. Think about arguments you've seen spiral out of control. Words on top of words, voices rising, pride clashing. Nothing gets solved. Why? Because both sides are reacting instead of controlling the direction. Silence, on the other hand, stops the fuel from pouring onto the fire. Without your reaction, there's nothing to escalate. Silence also gives you clarity. When you don't rush to respond, you create space to observe. You notice tone. You notice intent. You notice whether this is even worth your energy. That pause, those few seconds of quiet, can save you from saying something you'll regret or from engaging in a battle that was never yours to fight. Some people confuse silence with being passive. But it's not passive, it's powerful. It's choosing to protect your peace instead of proving your pride. It's sending the message: I hear you, but you don't control me. That kind of discipline makes people rethink how they approach you. It commands respect without you having to demand it. Silence also speaks louder than anger. Words said in rage are often forgotten, but the way you held your calm in the face of attack, that's remembered. People will notice that you didn't let their negativity drag you down. They'll see that you carry yourself differently, and that difference builds your reputation over time. And here's something deeper: silence protects relationships too. Not every hurtful moment deserves a fight. Sometimes people speak out of stress, frustration, or their own unhealed pain. If you react to every sharp word, you risk damaging connections that could have been repaired with patience. Silence gives room for both sides to cool down, and in that space, real understanding can grow. So, the next time someone tries to provoke you, remember this: you don't have to attend every battle you're invited to. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is no move at all. Stand tall in your calm. Let your silence do the talking. Because silence doesn't mean you lost. It means you chose not to lose yourself. That's not weakness. That's strength. Emotional maturity is not about never feeling hurt. It's not about pretending that words don't sting or that actions don't affect you. Emotional maturity is about what you do with those feelings once they show up. It's the ability to pause, to process, and to choose your response instead of letting your emotions choose it for you. Anyone can get angry. Anyone can fire back when they're insulted. That's the natural, immediate reaction. But maturity is measured in restraint. It's in being able to sit with the emotion without letting it explode onto someone else. It's in recognizing that peace has more value than pride. When you don't react to hurt, you're not being passive, you're being disciplined. You're showing that you're in control of yourself. Because think about it, if every time someone hurts you, you react instantly, what does that say? It says they have the power to push your buttons whenever they want. It means your mood, your peace, even your behavior is in the hands of others. That's not strength. That's being controlled. Emotional maturity flips that. It's saying, yes, I felt that. Yes, it hurt, but I will decide how I respond, not you. That's power. That's self-respect. There's a difference between ego and peace. Ego says, I need to win this argument. I need to prove I'm right. I need to defend my pride. Peace says, I don't need to fight every battle. I don't need to waste my energy on things that won't matter tomorrow. One is about short-term satisfaction. The other is about long-term growth. Choosing peace over ego is the hallmark of emotional maturity. And here's the thing: people notice. The way you handle conflict speaks louder than anything you say in conflict. When you choose calm over chaos, you stand out. You earn respect even from people who may not agree with you. You become someone others can trust because they know you won't lose control at the first sign of pressure. Emotional maturity doesn't mean you let people walk all over you. It doesn't mean you stay silent forever. It means you respond when it's necessary, and you respond in a way that aligns with your values. You don't lower yourself to the level of the insult. You hold your standard and you stick to it. This kind of maturity is rare, but it's powerful. It makes you harder to manipulate. It makes you calmer under stress, and it allows you to walk away from situations with your dignity intact. So the next time someone tries to pull you into a fight with their words, remember this: you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Your calm is proof enough. Your restraint is proof enough. That's what emotional maturity looks like: choosing peace over ego and discipline over impulse. That's real strength. Your energy is one of the most valuable things you have. It fuels your focus, your peace of mind, your ability to handle life. But the moment you react to someone who hurts you, you hand over a piece of that energy. And the truth is, most of the time, they don't deserve it. Think about it. When someone says something offensive or does something to push your buttons, what are they really doing? They're fishing for a reaction. They want to see you flinch, to see you lose your calm, because the second you react, they know they've succeeded in getting to you. They've drawn from your energy. They've taken control of your state. And here's the problem with that: every reaction costs you. It costs you focus, because now you're thinking about what they said instead of what you were doing. It costs you peace, because now you're replaying the conversation in your head long after it's over. It costs you time, because now you're caught in a battle that was never worth fighting. That's energy you could have used on your goals, your growth, or simply enjoying your life. Protecting your energy means guarding your peace as if it were your most valuable possession. Because it is. When you stay calm in the face of provocation, you're not ignoring what happened. You're simply refusing to pay the price for it. You're saying, my energy is too valuable to waste on this. There's a powerful shift that happens when you learn this. Instead of asking, how do I respond to this person? You start asking, do they even deserve a response from me? That's a question of value. And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Not everyone who throws words your way deserves the privilege of your energy. Protecting your energy also means choosing your battles wisely. Some situations require a response, but even then, it doesn't have to come from a place of anger. A calm, measured response costs you far less energy than an emotional outburst. It keeps you steady. It keeps you in control. And here's the beauty of it. When people see that they can't pull you out of character, they stop trying. They realize your calm isn't for sale. Your energy isn't something they can take from you. That quiet confidence builds a wall between you and negativity. So the next time someone tries to hurt you with their words or actions, pause, ask yourself, Is this worth my energy, or am I better off keeping it? More often than not, the smartest move is to walk away with your peace intact. Because energy wasted on the wrong people is energy you don't have for the right ones. Protect your energy. It's your responsibility. It's your strength. And once you learn to guard it, no one can drain you without your permission. When someone hurts you, the natural instinct is to take it personally, to think, what did I do to deserve this? Or why are they treating me this way? But here's the truth most people don't realize. The way someone treats you usually says more about them than it does about you. Think about it. When a person lashes out, when they insult you, when they try to cut you down, it's not a reflection of your worth, it's a reflection of their state of mind. Their words and actions are shaped by their experiences, their insecurities, their frustrations. What comes out of them is often what's already weighing them down inside. A person who's at peace doesn't go around trying to hurt others. Someone who feels secure in themselves doesn't need to attack your character. Someone who's genuinely happy doesn't find joy in tearing you apart. So when people do hurt you, it's not really about you. It's about what they're carrying. That's the perspective shift. When you start seeing things this way, you take the power away from their words. Instead of reacting, you remind yourself, this is their reflection, not mine. And that changes everything, because now you're no longer trapped in their storm. You're simply watching it from the outside. This doesn't mean what they said or did doesn't hurt. It means you stop letting it define you. You stop replaying it in your mind as if it's the truth. Their behavior becomes a mirror of their own struggle, not a judgment on your value. That's a shift in perspective that protects your peace. It also gives you compassion. Instead of feeding into the cycle of anger, you recognize that people who lash out are often hurting themselves. That doesn't excuse their behavior, but it explains it. And understanding this helps you rise above the need to match their negativity with your own. Here's something powerful to remember. When someone throws words at you, it's like them handing you a gift. You get to decide whether to accept it or leave it unopened. If you take it personally, you've accepted it. If you let it go, you've refused either way. The choice is yours. And that's the beauty of perspective. It gives you choice. You can choose to let someone's pain become your pain, or you can choose to see it for what it really is, a reflection of them, not you. So the next time someone hurts you with their words or actions, pause. Remind yourself, this says more about them than it ever will about me. And then decide if it's worth your peace to respond, or if the wiser move is to let it pass. Because once you understand that people's behavior reflects their inner world, you stop carrying their burdens as if they're your own. That's freedom. That's perspective. In the heat of the moment, reacting feels good. It feels like taking control, like standing up for yourself, like proving a point. But here's the problems. That kind of reaction only gives you a short-term win. It satisfies your emotions in the moment, but it costs you credibility, peace, and sometimes even relationships. The real strength is not in winning the moment. It's in winning over time. That's where measured responses come in. When you choose not to react immediately, you're thinking bigger than the moment in front of you. You're asking yourself, what does this mean for me tomorrow? What does this say about me in the long run? That shift in perspective changes everything. Instead of chasing instant satisfaction, you're building something lasting: respect, credibility, and inner confidence. Think about respect first. People may not always agree with you, but they will notice how you carry yourself. If every insult pulls you into an argument, you become predictable, easy to provoke. But when you hold your ground calmly, you send a clear message: you're not controlled by outside noise. Over time, people respect the person who doesn't break character just because someone else tried to. Then there's credibility. Your words carry weight when they're not scattered in anger. When you speak less but with intention, people listen more. They know you're not just reacting, you're responding with purpose. That credibility is something you can't buy. It's earned by showing again and again that you can stay composed under pressure. And finally, there's inner confidence. The more you practice restraint, the stronger you feel inside. You stop second guessing yourself. You stop regretting the things you said in anger. You begin to trust your own self-control. That trust builds a quiet kind of confidence that doesn't need to prove itself in every argument. It's the confidence of knowing I can handle myself no matter what comes my way. That's the long-term win. It's not about crushing someone in an argument or proving them wrong. It's about walking away with your peace intact, your reputation stronger, and your self-respect higher. And here's the part most people don't realize: the long-term win often changes how people treat you. When they see that you don't react to cheap shots, they stop wasting their energy trying to provoke you. When they realize your calm is consistent, they begin to approach you differently, with caution, with respect, sometimes even with admiration. So, yes, reacting might win you the moment, but it often costs you the bigger picture. A measured response, or sometimes no response at all, may not feel like a victory right away, but over time it builds a life where you're respected, trusted, and confident in yourself. That's not just winning. That's winning where it matters most. At the end of the day, you can't control what people say or do, but you always control how you respond. That's where your power lies. Choosing not to react isn't about ignoring pain. It's about rising above it. It's about valuing your peace over your pride, your future over your feelings in the moment. Silence when necessary, restraint when tested, and discipline when provoked. These are not signs of weakness. They're signs of strength, maturity, and self-respect. Each time you hold your ground calmly, you protect your energy, shift your perspective, and build a reputation that lasts far beyond the moment. Reacting may win you seconds, but self-control wins you years. It earns you respect, credibility, and confidence that no one can take away. And that's the long-term victory. So remember, when someone hurts you, the most powerful response is often no reaction at all, because real strength isn't proven by how loudly you answer, it's proven by how calmly you refuse to be moved.